Hey and welcome to the Daily Arsenal News Show. Let's begin with our daily news. Charles Watts gives update on Leandro Trossard to Arsenal. Arsenal are trying to get Leandro Trossard signed in time to play a part against Manchester United on Sunday. The Gunners' swoop for the Brighton winger has moved quickly, and that was given him a chance of playing in the Gunners' huge clash at the weekend. Journalist Charles Watts has tweeted that the 28-year-old is already at London Colney early this morning to get the deal over the line. It needs to be done by midday today for Trossard to be part of Mikel Arteta's squad against United at the Emirates Stadium. Trossard has already played a part in a victory over Ten Hag's side this season, 2-1 at Old Trafford on the opening weekend of the season. Arsenal need more attacking variety and depth, and it would be a boost to their hopes of winning if they had Trossard to at least come off the bench against United. It remains to be seen if Arsenal can beat the clock and get the deal done, but it seems like everything is all but in place now. Trossard represents a change of age profile from Mykhailo Mudryk, but he is Premier League proven and should come in and make an instant impact. He will not cost as much, should not need time to settle and adjust to English football or life in this country, and if he starts off with a goal against United, he will be an instant hero. Arsenal's lead over Manchester City sits at 5 points after they came back to beat Tottenham 4-2 last night, ahead of another huge weekend of Premier League football. By the way, Arsenal coach Albert Stevenberg has been urging Arsenal to sign the player. Stevenberg knows Leandro Trossard well and has worked with him before. Stevenberg coached Trossard when he was the manager of Genk in 2017, leading the club to the quarter-finals of the UEFA Europa League. The Athletic report that there have been concerns about Trossard's attitude after his falling out with Roberto De Zerbi, which has led to his fairly rapid exit from Brighton, but Stevenberg has served to play those down and ensure Arsenal are getting a player who fits in with their squad development plans. It remains to be seen whether he will sign in time to face Manchester United on Sunday, but Arsenal are trying to get the deal over the line before midday today. Fulham getting closer to sign Arsenal outcast Cedric Soares. Fulham is continuing talks with Arsenal over the signing of Cedric Soares as the fullback remains largely out of the first team plans at the Emirates. The Cottagers need new men and Marco Silva wants to work with Soares, which has made them approach Arsenal to get the deal sorted. The Londoners added Bernardino to their squad in the summer from Arsenal and now want to add Soares to their group. The transfer has been held up by Soares' salary because he doesn't seem keen to take a cut to his current Arsenal earnings to make a move. Standard Sport reveals Fulham is continuing talks with Arsenal and the player, hopeful they will find an agreement this week. Soares has been on the fringes for much of this term and should be eager to leave the Emirates for a place he can play more often. However, we cannot force him out. He will only make a move if the Portuguese star can reach an agreement with Fulham over personal terms. For now, we will focus on fielding the players above him on the pecking order and hope he gets the message and leaves before this transfer window closes. Arteta now eyeing another Premier League player after Trossard. Leandro Trossard is not the only Premier League forward who could move to the Emirates. The Daily Mail reports that Arsenal are also interested in Bournemouth player Jaidon Anthony. According to the report, the 23-year-old is out of contract at the end of the season. He is also wanted by Leicester City, Bayer Leverkusen and Borussia Mönchengladbach, but Arsenal may feel that they have a potential upper hand in the race to sign the youngster. Anthony spent a decade on Arsenal's books before making the move to the South Coast in 2016. He has since made 73 appearances for the Cherries' first team. He has scored twice this season. Anthony feels like a real surprise target for Arsenal, but the Daily Mail reports that the Gunners believe that he has real potential to improve further, and he would certainly not cost as much as some of the other names linked with a move to the Emirates this month. Former Cherries boss Scott Parker also suggested that he is an incredible talent too. It's not clear whether Arsenal are looking at a deal in this window or in the summer, when he will potentially be available on a free transfer. Arsenal have got very little wrong in the market over the last couple of years. In some ways, this deal may evoke memories of the move for Aaron Ramsdale. Ramsdale joined from Sheffield United, having previously been at the Vitality Stadium. Few could have seen how quickly Ramsdale would step up. Perhaps Arteta's men believe that there is a huge amount to come from Anthony in the future also. Ben Jacobs shares Ivan Fresneda update amid Arsenal links. Arsenal have been linked with Real Valladolid's Ivan Fresneda in recent weeks. Juve recently claimed that the Gunners are ahead of everyone in the race for the 18-year-old fullback. Arsenal could offer 20 million euros in a bid to beat the likes of Juventus and Borussia Dortmund to Fresneda's signature, said the report. Fabrizio Romano subsequently confirmed that Edu and Mikel Arteta's club is indeed in the race for Fresneda. However, he stressed that the race was still open, with Arsenal also up against Newcastle United. Now, CBS journalist Ben Jacobs has claimed that Fresneda's agent has been to London for talks with the clubs. He said the Spaniard is one to watch regarding a potential January move to the Emirates Stadium. He said, away from attacking players, Arsenal are potentially in the mix for a right back as well. Even if Fresneda will be one to watch, there is a variety of clubs tracking him at the moment, and his agent has been in London speaking to various Premier League clubs, so we'll see how that one develops. It won't just be a scramble for a Madrid alternative, they are looking at other areas to strengthen. Arsenal signed Leandro Trossard. This would take the attacking reinforcement of the Gunners' January wishlist. Although right back isn't a priority position for Arsenal, Arteta could find himself down one player come deadline day. Cedric Soares seems to be looking to leave the Gunners, with Fulham reportedly in pursuit. With that in mind, bringing in a talented teenage right back makes perfect sense. Fresneda could replace Soares at Arsenal, and his arrival would give Ben White more leeway to play at centre back. Klopp told Moussa Diaby is perfect signing with Arsenal keen. Arsenal have been linked with a move for Bayer Leverkusen's Moussa Diaby lately, but could end up battling it out with Liverpool for his signature. Diaby has been one of the names linked with Arsenal since they missed out on Mikhailo Modric to Chelsea. Reports this week suggested the Gunners had made contact over Diaby. At the time, Sky's Darmish Sheth claimed the speedy forward was high on Arsenal's list. And today, adding more to this ongoing link to Diaby, German journalist Christian Falk has said that Liverpool could end up joining the race for Diaby due to the style of player he is. Falk said, "We know that Arsenal already had contact with Moussa Diaby for last summer, so he's still on the list, just not for the winter. We heard Leverkusen don't want to sell him. Perhaps if Arsenal have a lot of money somewhere, maybe £100 million, Leverkusen would then have a discussion, but I don't think Arsenal can spend that, as we have seen from the amount they were prepared to pay for Mikhailo Modric. He is still a hot topic at Arsenal, but even they weren't able to spend more than 70 million euros. He is really expensive, and Leverkusen will keep hold of him if a crazy offer doesn't arise. I don't see an offer coming about at this moment. Perhaps Liverpool will join the poker table at some point because he is perfect for this team, but for now, I don't think there will be any movement on this front during the winter window." Lauded as astonishing for his displays in Germany, Diaby has made a big impression in Leverkusen. As Falk says, it's hard to see Leverkusen selling in January or a Premier League side paying what they want right now. However, the summer window is always a different story entirely. Liverpool are expected to go big, and while they have got good attacking options, you never know. Arsenal too now have a wealth of attacking talent, but clubs always want to improve, and Diaby is a player whose pace and directness will be attractive. Boost for Arsenal as Youri Tielemans favours a free transfer. Arsenal have been handed a boost in their pursuit of Youri Tielemans, as the Belgian now is set to leave Leicester City as a free agent. Tielemans has been one of the finest midfielders in the Premier League, over the last few seasons, which has prompted Arsenal to become interested in him. The Gunners surprisingly did not sign the Belgian in the summer and opted for an unsuccessful pursuit of Douglas Luiz. Fans also expected them to make a January effort to land the midfielder, but a report on The Sun reveals Tielemans is more likely to leave as a free agent in the summer. This means Arsenal will save money in the transfer fees. This means Arsenal will save money in transfer fees when they add him to their squad at the end of the season. Tielemans has been one of the finest midfielders in European football in the last few seasons, and Arsenal will sign a top player if he joins them. However, there would be competition for his signature because many other clubs have an interest in the former Monaco man. This means we will be smart to start our pursuit of his signature now, so that we can steal a march on the other clubs interested in moving for him. Declan Rice plans revealed as Leandro Trossard signs. Arsenal's decision to sign Leandro Trossard will have no bearing on any potential move for West Ham Declan Rice. According to The Athletic, the Gunners have moved swiftly to wrap up the signing of Trossard. An announcement is imminent, with Trossard set to sign a long-term deal and Arsenal to pay Brighton close to £20 million mark. Of course, the signing of Trossard is cheaper and arguably less glamorous than that of Mykhailo Mudryk, but in good news for the Gunners fanbase, landing Trossard means that there is zero impact on future deals as well. The Athletic reports how the deal to bring Trossard in will have no bearing on Arsenal's future spending, particularly when it comes to their reported pursuit of Declan Rice. As we know, Arsenal have been linked with a move for Rice in the last week. The England and Hammer star is said to be a key target for Arsenal, who fancy themselves to pip Chelsea to his signature. Rice is expected to cost a hefty sum. As much as £80 million has been touted previously, with the Times suggesting that's the sort of fee West Ham are still expecting. The Gunners have been heading in this direction for some time under Arteta and Edo's guidance, and it really looks like they are trying to set themselves for the future. The signing of Trossard is a smart business in terms of getting over the line in the title race now, but players like Rice are world-class and they are young enough for Arsenal to build a future around. News of finances being in a place to sign Rice isn't just what Arsenal fans want to hear and read. If they can land Declan Rice, then it's quite the coup, and in the long run would surely bring more trophies. Ben Jacobs explains why it's not accurate to say that Arsenal are afraid to commit to big money signings. Jacobs told Cout Offside the following: I am aware there has been some speculation about Arsenal changing their approach since the Nicolas Pepe transfer. I think it's worth reiterating that there is always a risk with any signing, and Arsenal view this as a bit of an exception. Obviously, with hindsight, it was a big investment that didn't work, and you are then left with a difficult situation in terms of making that money back. With Pepe, Arsenal were aware not to make that mistake again, but it's not like they have made a decision never to spend big again. Arsenal have been in the conversation for big-name players like Mudryk and also Joao Felix, which tells you that their strategy is not just to get bargains, their strategy is to get value. At the moment, Chelsea and Arsenal might define value differently. As I have said, Chelsea need an overhaul now, whereas Arsenal are perhaps being a bit more selective. They have stronger foundations on the football side than Chelsea at the moment, and there is a need to think about the chemistry of the team. When it's mid-season and you have got this kind of momentum, you perhaps don't want to rock the boat as much as Chelsea. Arsenal have been looking at 1 or 2 signings, whereas with Chelsea, the plan was always more like 4 or 5. It's clear Arsenal have money to spend, but they are not going to spend for the sake of it. Even with Gabriel Jesus injured, there is a confidence that the momentum they have got at the moment can see them through to the end of the season as Premier League winners and qualifying for the Champions League. If that proves the case, the summer can be their window and perhaps even present them with better opportunities, as they will have more income coming into the club with the Champions League football. I will be uploading daily Arsenal news show, so keep your eyes on the channel and don't forget to like and subscribe. I appreciate your support. Peace out.